What beautiful stories we all are in our lives, all the things we have experienced, the lowest of the lows, the highest of the highs, and all of the in between mundane, monotonous things that take us through our everyday lives. I truly believe that we are reflections of each other, and when we're open to seeing that, we get to receive these gifts from one another by just witnessing each other in all that we get to experience being human. And it is vast. I don't know about you, but it has been for me in these deep, short, expansive 33 years that I've been on this planet. And recently, I was invited to join a group of people that are going to Ireland in the fall of 2025 in September. And it was one of those kismet moments where I didn't think I would see this person, and our paths came back around at the end of the night. And as soon as I learned about this opportunity, something inside of me just lit up. And I knew this is why I was here in this moment of this night, is to have this conversation with this woman and to hear this invitation of myself that is truly a call forward. And what it is it's this trip to Ireland that is going to be filled with visiting sacred sites. And this is the kicker for me, it is an author's journey. And what that means is that everyone who's attending, all together as a group, we are writing a book. And this book is called The Alchemy of Intuition: Embodied Practices to Access Your Inner Voice. Now, it was my inner voice that was telling me to be at this place at this time and talk to this person the night that I learned about this trip. And just over my life, I have had a really beautiful relationship with my intuition. And there have been other times in my life where I couldn't contact my intuition to save me. And quite literally, I could have lost my life when I was struggling, being addicted to drugs. Now almost 7 years clean. And there is a part of me that has felt such a deep call to share my story and to share my stories. And when I learned about this opportunity, something in me just knew that I couldn't keep quiet anymore. I couldn't revert to this like shy, reserved Jamie who very much resembles this like young 10-year-old self who keeps quiet. And I love that about me. And I love watching and I love observing. And there is a writer in me, and there always has been. And if you've read anything that I've written, whether it be a social media post or a poem, chances are that you can see that too. And sometimes it's really scary when we have these invitations to follow these dreams. And that's honestly the truth. Like, this feels really scary, and it feels necessary for me to follow those whispers, to follow the dreams that a younger version of me had. I remember being 16 and watching the movie The Bucket List with Morgan Freeman and Jack something. Oh gosh, I'm never good with those names. And it was so amazing. And it was about all of the things that you want to experience in your life before you die. And I know that it can be easy to forget and just get caught up in the everyday repetition. Forget that we're here to fully live life. And what that looks like from my perspective is doing the things that are scary, going into the unknown, pushing through the fear to like see what's on the other side. I don't know about you, but there are many things that my younger self has dreamt of doing, and things that I dream of doing now that I wonder when I'm later on in my years, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, am I just going to be celebrating the younger me for stepping out and being courageous when it was so scary? And I want to look back and I want to celebrate her like I celebrate past versions of me who have done really scary and hard things. And to be honest, I spent many years believing that the only way to be strong is to just do it all myself. Oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional because that's the world that so many of us grow up in, especially in the West. And I believe as a whole in the collective. And what I've learned in some of the hardest things that I have overcome in this life is that the true strength is when we can reach out and ask for help, or reach out to a friend and ask for an ear. And sometimes it's really hard to know what we need, right? And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm reaching out and I'm asking for help from my community to help me step into this dream. I'm asking for $8,888, and that is going to help cover everything that I experienced in Ireland, from the retreat and learning about the writing and publishing from start to finish of a book. And this just a little sneak peek, like this is just the first. So I will become a published author in January of 2026 through this book. And this is truly going to lay the foundation of the knowledge that I desire to write my stories and to share them in the world and share the wisdom that I have received through them as gifts to me that I truly believe I am here to pass along. And all of the food and the workshops and going to all of the sacred sites and all the things that come with travel. It feels like a big ask, and coming back to really celebrating this inner child piece who is dreamt of not only writing a book but going to Ireland, because part of my lineage, my ancestry resides in Ireland, and there is this call that I can't describe, and maybe if you visited Ireland you understand, and I know I will have words for it. I'm actually going to be documenting my journey on my Substack. So if you desire to follow along while I'm there, let me know. I will definitely have the links available. But coming back to just this desire, this dream, sometimes when we have these whispers, also could be your intuition. For me, it is. Also just these other aspects of me, maybe future me's, that are just whispering, like, just do it. And it's okay to do it afraid. And so that's what I'm doing. I've already committed. I'm going to Ireland. I am writing these books that are aching to pour out of me. And I'm taking one step and then the other, and doing my best not to get caught up here and overthink it, because that can paralyze my foot and my other foot from taking steps. And so instead, it's just one moment at a time, listening to those whispers and knowing that by saying yes to what's inside of me, I am also saying yes to what I believe my soul is here to do and to offer to the world. And anytime that we get to say yes to what those whispers and those like heart aches that want to come into the world are, I truly believe that that is how we grow as a collective. That is how this world gets just enveloped in love and enveloped in what's possible. And it truly does make a difference when we are able to support one another, when we are able to support ourselves in what we truly, truly feel inside of us. And sometimes that looks really scary because it seems like it pushes up against those that are in our intimate, small circles, whether it's our family, our friends. And I'm here to tell you that what I have seen and what I have learned is actually when we are living in our highest truth, that becomes an invitation for those around us to do the same. And honestly, it can get really uncomfortable and it can get really scary. And on the other side of that, like crunchiness, hopefully through some communication and getting to know ourselves and one another, on the other side of that, there are infinite possibilities. Relationships, experiences, a world that our minds could never fathom, but our hearts know. And all we have to do is show up and honor that. With that said, that's what I'm doing here. And I am leaning wholly and faithfully in the belief that this is what is meant to unfold for me, and that I am stepping into this next chapter of my life doing just that. And let me tell you, that's really scary to say to anyone that's not in like the two people that really hold a lot of space and are my support system. Full disclosure. I am also offering, if you are wanting to do any work with me, that your donation can be put into doing coaching, creating malas, these beautiful intuitive malas, going to ceremony and co-creating that together, photo shoots, also just receiving some audios of sound healing with crystal bowls and grounding meditations to bring you back into your body and connect with your heart. If you're wanting to do some work with me and feel this activation through any of my words for you in your personal journey, I am here. That is what I do. I work with people to move out of this place of stagnation, of disconnection, and move into a place of flourishing and connection with our truth, with our bodies, with just this wisdom that resides in us just because we are alive. If you feel called to just make a donation and support me, I thank you from the deep, 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 deep depths of my heart. And I really look forward to what's to come. I have no idea, honestly. I have zero idea. The only ideas I have are those little whispers that it's just like this invisible path of following, having faith, and trusting. However you feel called to support me in this dream, I thank you.